Prayer is power. Prayer is power. What are you going to do? Pray. Pray. Pray.
Welcome, everyone, to Dr. Pillai's Religion of Religions YouTube channel. Today is Tuesday, November 7th, 2023. We are about to do a live, in-depth planetary puja using the chart of now, based on my current location in the state of New Mexico in the USA. My name is Swamini Valli. I am a Pillai Center teacher and priestess and an AstroVed astrologer, and I'm very happy to be hosting this program Monday through Friday on this channel. The puja that we're about to do was taught originally to me by Dr. Pillai. He taught me and Rajamaloi, Mina's brother, this when both of us were living in his house in Fallbrook in San Diego County many years ago. So there's a happy picture of Dr. Pillai from several years back. To do the puja, I'm using the South Indian style layout of the chart. Dr. Pillai has said the planets and stars are more than just objects in outer space. There is a divine light being associated with each of them. And in doing the puja, we are connecting with these light beings and asking their positive blessings to flow into us and into our world. So this is the South Indian style layout of the chart based on my location and this moment in time here in New Mexico. I've drawn the chart in chalk on a little blackboard that's laying flat on a side table here. Also, for doing the puja, I have a container of water, a lit tea light, an incense stick, a bell, a tangerine, and a bowl of fresh flower petals. I start with sprinkling a few drops of water on all four sides of the blackboard chart to purify the space where the puja will be happening. I'm also sprinkling a few drops of water on top of my own head, and I'm sending a few drops of water out into space towards all of you, so that whether you're watching this live or later on a replay, everyone is purified going into the puja. Now we start with invoking Ganesha, the archetype who removes obstacles and also is a patron of astrology. Om Shring Gang, Om Shring Gang, Om Shring Gang. I ask Ganesha to come and to remove all obstacles from this puja and to help us to participate in it with a calm mind. I ask him to remove obstacles in the lives of all the participants in the physical, mental, emotional, financial, and spiritual areas of your lives. I ask him to remove obstacles for all of us now and always, and we thank him for his help with this. Next, we do a short Tamil chant asking all of the planets to be beneficial towards us. Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atiyar Arvarku Mikave. Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atiyar Arvarku Mikave. Asura Nalla Nalla, Ave Nalla Nalla, Atiyar Arvarku Mikave. We ask all of the planets to be beneficial today towards us and towards our world. We thank St. Gnanasamunda for teaching this chant, and we are grateful to Dr. Pillai for sharing it with us. Now, we turn our attention to the time Shaktis, or the time elements that are active in my local area at the moment. We start with honoring the planet ruling the day. Today is Tuesday, ruled by Mars. I put flower petals on Mars on the blackboard chart. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Next, we honor the star that the moon is in. Right now, the moon is in a star called Purva Phalguni, a star that gives blessings for relationship and also for rest and relaxation. This happens to be my birth star. I put flower petals on the moon. Om Purva Phalgunaye Namaha. Om Purva Phalgunaye Namaha. Om Purva Phalgunaye Namaha. Now we honor the Tithi, or the moon phase. In my area right now, we are in the 10th waning moon, called Dasami in Sanskrit. I put the flower petals on the moon. Om Dasami Devye Namaha. Om Dasami Devye Namaha. Om Dasami Devye Namaha. Now we honor the planet ruling the hour. In my local area, this is the sun. I put flower petals on the sun. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Now we acknowledge the yoga and the Karana time elements. Dr. Pillai said for these, we would not use flower petals. We would say their names in Sanskrit 3 times each. The yoga that's active right now is one called Indra, which can give blessings for leadership. Indra, Indra, Indra. And the Karana right now that's active is one called Vishti, which can bring energies that are inefficient. Vishti, Vishti, Vishti. Now, we turn our attention to the chart of the moment, and we start by looking at the sign that is currently the ascendant, represented here with the letters AC. This is the sign coming up on the eastern horizon right now in my local area. This is Vrishika, or Scorpio, which is ruled by Mars. I put flower petals on Mars. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Now, starting in the ascendant of Scorpio, we're going to go around the chart in a clockwise direction, stopping in each sign that has 1 or more planets in it. Today in Scorpio is Mercury. I put flower petals on Mercury. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Mercury is in a star called Vishaka, a star that gives blessings for triumph and victory. I put the flower petals on Mercury. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Vishaka star is ruled by a pair of archetypes, Indra and Agni. Indra can give blessings for leadership and power, and Agni can give blessings for transformation and purification. We ask for blessings from both of them, and I put the flower petals on Mercury. Om Indra Agnihe Namaha. Om Indra Agnihe Namaha. Om Indra Agnihe Namaha. Vishaka star is ruled by Jupiter. I put flower petals on Jupiter. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Vrishika or Scorpio, the most occult of all of the zodiac signs, today containing Mercury, planet of communication, business, planet that helps us with analysis and our sense of humor. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. Mercury in Scorpio, planet of communication, sitting in an occult sign, can be helping us right now with mantras, for example, or doing ritual practices. So if you are trying to get back to doing mantras, or perhaps doing a practice like lime rolling to remove karma, or tarpanam practice for the ancestors, this is a good time to pick it up again while Mercury is in Scorpio. Now, going in a clockwise direction, we see that the next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Makara or Capricorn, which today contains Pluto. I put flower petals on Pluto. Om Krum Kruntankaiha Namaha. Om Krum Kruntankaiha Namaha. Om Krum Kruntankaiha Namaha. Pluto is in a star called Uttara Ashada, a star that can give blessings for long-lasting success. I put flower petals on Pluto. Om Uttara Shadaye Namaha. Om Uttara Shadaye Namaha. Om Uttara Shadaye Namaha. Uttarashada star is ruled by the 10 Visvadevas, 10 archetypes, who each embody a unique, divine, universal principle. We ask for blessings from all 10 of them. I put flower petals on Pluto. Om Visvadevasye Namaha. Om Visvadevasye Namaha. Om Visvadevasye Namaha. Uttarashada star is ruled by the sun. I put flower petals on the sun. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Capricorn, which is Saturn. I put flower petals on Saturn. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Makara or Capricorn, a zodiac sign that can give blessings to activate ancient past life skills and abilities, today containing Pluto, planet of rationality and science. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Kumbha or Aquarius, which today contains Saturn. I put flower petals on Saturn. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Saturn is in a star called Dhanishta, a star that can give blessings for prosperity, music, good reputation. I put the flower petals on Saturn. Om Dhanishtaye Namaha. Om Dhanishtaye Namaha. Om Dhanishtaye Namaha. Dhanishta star is ruled by the 8 Vasus, 8 light beings who each rule different spheres of existence. We ask for blessings from all 8 of them, and I put the flower petals on Saturn. Om Vasusye Namaha. Om Vasusye Namaha. Om Vasusye Namaha. The Nishta star is ruled by Mars. I put flower petals on Mars. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Aquarius, which is Saturn. I put flower petals on Saturn. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. Om Sanishwaraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Kumbha, or Aquarius, the most humanitarian of all the zodiac signs, today containing Saturn, planet of patience, compassion, structure, perseverance. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Meena, or Pisces, which today contains Neptune, who is retrograde, extra powerful, and Rahu. We start with honoring Neptune. I put flower petals on him. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Om Vam Varunaye Namaha. Neptune is in a star called Purva Bhadrapada, a star that Dr. Pillai says can give blessings to help us towards enlightenment, charity, purification. I put the flower petals on Neptune. Om Purva Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Purva Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Om Purva Bhadrapadaye Namaha. Purva Bhadrapada star is ruled by Aja Ekapada, archetype who can help us to experience deeper levels of stillness and forgiveness. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Om Aja Ekapadaye Namaha. Purva Bhadrapada star is ruled by Jupiter. I put flower petals on Jupiter. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Now we honor Rahu for being in Pisces. I put flower petals on him. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Om Rahave Namaha. Rahu is in a star called Revati, a star that can give blessings for wealth and travel. Om Revatiye Namaha. Om Revatiye Namaha. Om Revatiye Namaha. Revati's star is ruled by Pushan, a divine archetype who helps take care of the cows of the gods. He's also someone that can help with pets, people who are taking care of pets, or those who take care of livestock or other animals. Om Pushanye Namaha. Om Pushanye Namaha. Om Pushanye Namaha. Revati's star is ruled by Mercury. I put flower petals on Mercury. Om Buddhayeha Namaha. Om Buddhayeha Namaha. Om Buddhayeha Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Pisces, which is Jupiter. I put flower petals on Jupiter. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Pisces, the most transcendental of all the zodiac signs, today containing Neptune, planet that helps with our intuition and also helps us with understanding our own inner life. And Rahu, planet that can help us to think outside the box. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Misha or Aries, which today contains Jupiter, who is retrograde, extra powerful, and Uranus, who is also retrograde, extra powerful. I start with putting flower petals on Jupiter. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Jupiter is in a star called Bharani, a star that has a tremendous amount of divine feminine Shakti or power. I put the flower petals on Jupiter. Om Bharani Namaha. Om Bharani Namaha. Om Bharani Namaha. Bharani's star is ruled by Yama, archetype of justice. I put the flower petals on Jupiter. Om Yamaye Namaha. Om Yamaye Namaha. Om Yamaye Namaha. Bharani's star is ruled by Venus. I put flower petals on Venus. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Now we honor Uranus for being in Aries. I put flower petals on him. Om Ram Prajapataye Namaha. Om Ram Prajapataye Namaha. Om Ram Prajapataye Namaha. Uranus is in a star called Kritika, a star that can give blessings for truth. Om Kritikaye Namaha. Om Kritikaye Namaha. Om Kritikaye Namaha. Kritika star is ruled by Agni, archetype associated with the fire element. Om Agnihe Namaha. Om Agnihe Namaha. Om Agnihe Namaha. Kritika star is ruled by the sun. I put flower petals on the sun. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Aries, which is Mars. I put flower petals on Mars. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Misha or Aries, a fire sign with very active energies, today containing Jupiter, a planet that helps with everything related to spirituality, and Uranus, a planet that can give blessings for creative abilities, higher intelligence, and astrology. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Simha or Leo, which today contains the moon. I put flower petals on the moon. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. Om Chandraya Namaha. The moon is in Purva Phalguni star, a star of relationship and also rest and relaxation. It sometimes is called the party star. as it also has very social energies. I put the flower petals on the moon. Om Purvapakunaye Namaha. Om Purvapakunaye Namaha. Om Purvapakunaye Namaha. Purvapaguni star is ruled by Bhagya, an archetype who can give blessings for good fortune. Om Bhagyaye Namaha. Om Bhagyaye Namaha. Om Bhagyaye Namaha. Purvapaguni star is ruled by Venus. I put flower petals on Venus. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Leo, which is the sun. I put flower petals on the sun. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Simha or Leo, a zodiac sign that gives blessings for leadership and power. Today containing the moon, which is our mind and our emotions. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The next Rasi or sign with the planet in it is Kanya or Virgo, which today contains Venus and also Ketu. We start with honoring Venus. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Venus is in a star called Uttarapalguni. This is also a star that gives blessings for relationship and their ability to keep our word. I put the flower petals on Venus. Om Uttarapalgunaye Namaha. Om Uttarapalgunaye Namaha. Om Uttarapalgunaye Namaha. Uttarapalguni star is ruled by Aryaman, archetype who rules contracts, honor, integrity. Om Aryamanye Namaha. Om Aryamanye Namaha. Om Aryamanye Namaha. Uttarapalguni star is ruled by the sun. I put flower petals on the sun. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Now we honor Ketu for being in Virgo. I put flower petals on Ketu. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Om Ketave Namaha. Ketu is in a star called Chitra, a star that gives blessings for creativity and craftsmanship. I put the flower petals on Ketu. Om Chitraye Namaha. Om Chitraye Namaha. Om Chitraye Namaha. Chitra star is ruled by Twashtar, a divine archetype who is a master craftsman. Om Twashtarye Namaha. Om Twashtarye Namaha. Om Twashtarye Namaha. Chitra star is ruled by Mars. I put flower petals on Mars. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Virgo, which is Mercury. I put flower petals on Mercury. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. Om Buddhaya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Virgo, the most analytical and detail-oriented of all the zodiac signs, today containing Venus, planet of love and beauty and joy, planet of material plane comforts and the arts, and Ketu, sometimes called the saintly planet. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. The final Rasi or sign this morning with planets in it is Tula or Libra, which today contains the Sun and also Mars. Both of them are in the same star, so we will invoke both those planets before we invoke the star. I start with the Sun. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Next, we honor Mars for being in Libra. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. Om Mangalaya Namaha. The Sun and Mars are both in a star called Vishaka, a star that gives blessings for triumph and victory. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Om Vishakaye Namaha. Vishaka star is ruled by a pair of archetypes, Indra and Agni. Indra can give blessings for power, and Agni can give blessings for purity. Om Indra Agnihe Namaha. Om Indra Agnihe Namaha. Om Indra Agnihe Namaha. Vishaka star is ruled by Jupiter. I put flower petals on Jupiter. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Om Gurave Namaha. Now we honor the planet that rules Libra, which is Venus. I put flower petals on Venus. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. Om Shukraya Namaha. We pause for a moment and reflect on Tula or Libra, a zodiac sign that can give blessings for balance, fairness, harmony, today containing the Sun, which is our soul, and a planet important for our health and our self-esteem, and Mars, planet of courage and willpower. We pause for a moment and reflect on this. Now, I take a lit tea light, I hold it in my right hand above the blackboard that has the chart drawn in chalk and the many piles of flower petals. And in the air, I circle the tea light around the chart 3 times in a clockwise direction, offering the element of light to all these divine beings we've just invoked. Next, I take a lit incense stick to offer the air element and also a sweet fragrance. And I circle this around the chart 3 times in a clockwise direction. Now I take a bell to offer the element of sound. Now I take a tangerine, a small fruit representing the earth element, and I circle this above the chart 3 times in a clockwise direction. And later in the day, I will eat that tangerine as a piece of prasad or blessed food. Right now, I make prayer hands, and I make sincere prayer to all of these divine beings that we have just invoked, asking them to send their positive blessings into the lives of all of us, and also into the lives of our families, our friends, our neighbors, our colleagues, our homes, our workplaces, our schools, our communities, our countries, and indeed the entire world. May everyone on this planet have healthy food to eat, clean water to drink, clean air to breathe, a safe place to live, good clothes to wear, access to health care, good education, sustainable jobs, and may everyone on this planet have love in their life, now and always. I pray for enlightened leaders, enlightened citizens, enlightened laws, enlightened countries, and entire enlightened civilizations. I ask for blessings for all of my teachers, past, present, and to come. And I ask for blessings for all of my students, past, present, and to come. And I make a bow. You can continue to make your own prayers in silence for a minute, and then we can do short Q&A. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Peace to the body, peace to the mind, peace to the soul, peace to the environment, peace to the world. Peace, peace, peace. May we all go about our day or our evening in peace. Yesterday, someone asked a question about colors and the planets, specifically asking about Rahu. And in the Graha Sutras, the only sutra that really talks about the planets and colors is talking more about the body and not about like colors of clothes and things like that. This is the sutra. The sun is red-browned, fair-limbed is the moon, and not very large-bodied and red is Mars. In the manner of brown grass is Mercury. Fair-limbed is known Jupiter. Venus is brown, and dark-bodied is known Saturn. So these are not the traditional colors that we think of classically with the planets. And these colors really are more to do with complexions and possibly to do with perhaps colors of different races of people. It's possible that it's about the planets ruling different races of people. However, there is a tradition, a very long tradition of associating certain colors with the planets. And Dr. Pillai at one point had a trip that took some of us to Egypt and Israel. And when we were in Israel, we went to Bethlehem, to a place that supposedly is where Jesus was born. Now it's a whole built up shrine. It's not really a stable anymore. And he said, it's probably unlikely that this is really the exact birth spot. However, people have been coming here for so long with so much love and devotion. The reason I'm bringing you here is I want you to feel the energy of that. And so he has respect for tradition and he has respect for the energy that can be built up when people hold a belief for a long time. So although in my experience with the Grama Sutras, there isn't really a sutra saying, okay, now the sun is this color and the moon is white and Mars is red and Mercury is green, in the way that we sometimes think of them. Nevertheless, that has been held onto for such a long time that Dr. Pillai will associate colors like that with the planets because it's been such a part of a traditional system for so long. And he has some respect for that. So the dark blue color associated with Rahu, that would be the answer to the question yesterday. But I wanted you to understand that sometimes there are traditional beliefs that go forward. For example, Christmas Day is December 25th. We don't know that Jesus was actually born on that day, but we celebrate it. And there's a whole energy built up around that day and that season for people that celebrate that. Someone is saying, do we each have a personal ruling planet? As Beloved Superstar is asking. And is it based on our Vedic zodiac sign, or what is it based on? Each of you will have an ascendant sign. When the puja, when I circle that AC, it's the sign coming up on the eastern horizon at the moment. Each of you have an ascendant sign in your chart, the sign that was coming up on the eastern horizon when you were born. Whether you were born in the day or born in the night, there's an eastern horizon, and there was a planet coming up. There was a sign coming up, and there's a planet that rules that sign. So that planet is an important planet for you, the planet that rules your ascendant sign. Now, that's based on your chart, on your ascendant, and then the sign. All of the signs have a planetary ruler. You've experienced that as we do the puja. Now, the ascendant sign, the ruler of the ascendant sign is also sitting in a house. For example, my chart Gemini is my ascendant sign, which is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is sitting in my 6th house. 6th house is a house of selfless service. It's also a house of enemies and debts and illness. These are topics that I would have come into this incarnation to deal with. And I've had to learn how to deal with perhaps hidden enemies, but I'm also, hopelessly addicted to selfless service as well. So not a bad place to have the ascendant ruler. So if you are able to run your own birth chart at, let's say, AstroVed.com and look at what is the ascendant sign, then you would look at what is the planet ruling your ascendant sign. What house is it sitting in? You count the houses starting with the sign that is your ascendant as number 1. And then you go in a clockwise direction around the chart until you get to 12. There's 12 signs, there's 12 houses. And then you would have to look at what is the topic of the house where the planet that's ruling your ascendant is sitting. That would be a technique you could experiment with, Beloved Superstar. So that's the answer to that question. I hope I didn't just totally confuse you, but that's that would be perhaps a starting place to look at that technique. All right, good questions. I'm going to go ahead and close out for today. Again, thank you to everyone who clicks on the like button and who subscribes to the channel. Just a second, I see one more question coming through. Are there special things we should do when the current ascendant is the same as yours? Barbara is saying her ascendant is Scorpio, and we are now in the same ascendant. I haven't really paid attention to that so much. I would pay more attention to when is the moon in your birth star each month. For example, if the moon is in Purva Phalguni today, I have to do some nice things for myself today because your power is up when the moon is in your ascendant sign. I would start with paying attention to that. You can notice when the ascendant sign is active, but the ascendant sign will be active more than once a day because the rotation of the earth and all of that. But it's something you could notice. But it's not really a technique that Dr. Pillai has taught to us or encouraged us to pay attention to. I would pay more attention to the planet that rules your ascendant sign. In India, I've heard astrologers say they consider that to be a favorable planet for a person, regardless of anything else going on with the planet. The ruler of your ascendant sign can be a good planet for you. So you might maybe do something when it's the hora that's ruled by that sign during the day. That could be like a good time for you. You might experiment with that and see if that holds true for you. Okay, there's that. Okay. Oh, good. Live a Superstar was saying the answer was clear and understandable. Of course, it's recorded, so you can go back and replay this tail end of the class today, and you'll have that again if you need to be reminded. All right, I really need to close out and let you guys get on with your day or your evening. And again, namaste to all of you. The light in me truly honors the light in each of you. May light encompass all.